Good morning, everybody. Video 44 coming at you with another video. Feeling pretty good, man. Los Angeles Lakers played the Dallas Mavericks tonight, man. And I'm telling you, I expect for this to be a big game for many people, not just Luka the Don. I think Kyrie Irving could potentially have a good game. I think you could be looking at a situation where Klay Thompson may want to go off tonight. LeBron James, I expect to play very well tonight. It's going to be an interesting ball game, y'all. I'm decked out in my Lakers shirt. I haven't worn this shirt probably about 3 months, maybe even longer. And that's how I'm walking out the house today. I almost wore a jersey, to be honest with you. But I just wanted to rep, man. It's a big day for our situation, our organization. Luka the Don, although we benefit a great deal from his trade, he's going to need a lot of support. This may be a good time for us, but it's a difficult time for him. We got his back. We understand that he feels like he's been done wrong. We see the disrespect coming his way. I think a lot of us Laker fans are not cool with the disrespect. You know, we definitely appreciate the price tag we got for him, but we also understand that was partially disrespect. You know, the way that they sent him out for not even what he was worth. And it was a lot of dirty energy behind his trade. And though I benefit from it as a Laker fan, I'm not lost upon how other people feel about things like this when they don't benefit from it. So we consider that, and we're gonna root for our team tonight, as we always do. But we have a certain intention on honoring what Luka's feeling in regards to these situations. So that's what I want to say right now. First of all, before we get any further into the conversation, Luka deserved better, and if he goes off for 70, I don't think anybody would be surprised. But if he hasn't won for 12 tonight, I don't think we should be too surprised either, because it's an emotional situation, man. It's a very emotional situation. And so, you know, it's going to be hard. He's not, luckily enough, his game is in our building. So it's, you know, it's a Laker atmosphere. He's got the fans behind him. I think he had a fan behind him either way. But I think he'll have a whole lot of support out there tonight. I understand that Nico Harrison is in the building. That's, you know, I just don't know how I would feel if I were Luka in regards to Nico Harrison. I mean, only the details of the situation really tell the story. If this is owner driven, Nico's just doing his job. But if this was Nico driven and the owners kind of just co-signed it, then I'd probably be a little upset at Nico, to say the least. So, you know, I don't know, man. But if I'm Luka, at the end of the day, Nico sent me to a good spot, you know. There are a lot of places he could have found himself and been unhappy with, given the fact that he's a player that the entire NBA would want. He could have found himself in Sacramento. He could have found himself in Milwaukee, Toronto. He could have found himself in Minnesota. He could have found himself anywhere. The Lakers are probably one of the most desirable spots, especially if you're of his caliber. So I don't think in the long run he'll be too upset at where he was sent, for sure. Maybe that he was traded is one thing, but where they sent him was a blessing. Because we've seen guys sent to the bowels of the NBA. And although the bowels of the NBA aren't necessarily the bowels of the NBA when they get Luka Doncic anymore, he brings winning with him. Still, you want to go to a place where you know you have him as much as you need to continue to dominate the Western Conference like you have done last season. And so that's really what it is. That's part of this that I've been thinking about too. It's like, man, you drag a team to the finals, you play hurt in the finals. Maybe if you were healthy, maybe it goes a different way, you feel, and you're gonna get a chance to defend that because the ownership didn't appreciate it enough to allow you an opportunity to continue your career there, despite you doing more for them than most stars do for most organizations. There's so much to look at, man. He doesn't get a chance to defend his Western Conference crown as a diehard Dallas Maverick. You know what I mean? Somebody who was riding or dying for his organization as their leader. Whole thing built around him and his talents. You know, I'm sure he took it personally losing to the Boston Celtics in the finals. And the most important thing for him was to get healthy this season and take that same unit back to that same spot, hopefully for a different result. And ownership and business of basketball apparently, or the opinions of ownership, got in the way. And that, I'd imagine, in and of itself, is a tough pill to swallow. When you don't get a chance to defend yourself, I would say your crown, but it's not a crown if you don't get it. But like, to defend your Western Conference crown, I guess you could say. But don't be so certain he ain't getting back to the finals again this year, because this Laker team has a chance to do that, in my opinion, especially with the Western Conference being a little shaky. You know, you saw last night the OKC Thunder blow a 24-point fourth quarter lead against the Minnesota Timberwolves without Julius Randle. And that's supposed to be the best the Western Conference has to offer. I mean, it doesn't help with my assessment that the Lakers are ultimately in a position to really take over the West if we continue to gel the way that we have and stay healthy. Health is everything. And we are healthy right now for the first time in a long time. Most of that is because we got rid of those players who weren't healthy. But we also got back some guys that we've been waiting on for a long time, like Gabe Vincent and Jared Vanderbilt. So there's a lot to be said about health and how it contributes to the overall energy of some of your higher quality players. And that is what we are finally able to benefit from as a unit, with only Maxi Kleber, who we just acquired and have never had in our uniform, out for the basically the remainder of the regular season. So I think it's a decent chance Maxi Kleber's first game could be against the Dallas Mavericks on April 9th, by the way. I think that would be really cool if that's how that plays out. He's expected to come back on the 11th. And that either way, it's like 3 games before the end of the season. If he's going to come back and he feels good enough to play on the 9th, I would love to see him be out there, play his first game against his old team. So that's just something I'm thinking about. I don't know if that's actually what's going to happen, but he is set to come back that week. So, you know, I mean, this game tonight is huge, man. It's huge for a million reasons. It's still a million different storylines to consider. We documented a few of those in the pregame video, and I think there are a few more, even more so than that. But one thing's for certain is, what I like right now is that just like when we picked up LeBron James, he had a special interest in defeating the Boston Celtics. As I sit here and assess what it is that just happened with Luka, so does he, because he got one taken from him from the Celtics too. So I'm sure he has a special vitriol that is, you know, readily pointed at our natural-born rivals, which makes him even more enriched in this Laker thing than maybe we had assessed initially. So I want him to feel like he's a Laker tonight. I know that the Mavericks are his home, and that situation went left, and it's a lot of emotions, a lot of confusion. That's probably aligned with some of those emotions and how to feel, how to approach this game. Those are his brothers on the other side. I'm sure they didn't trade him on that team. So I don't think he's mad at people like Kyrie Irving or PJ Washington or, you know what I'm saying, some of those guys he's played with for many years. So I'd imagine it's going to be bittersweet having to now go from being a diehard, ride or die Dallas Maverick to now shifting into a space where he's supposed to hate the Dallas Mavericks and want to destroy them every night he sees them. That's just an impossible circumstance. But when you kicked out of the place that you love and disrespected on the way out, I'd imagine what you really want to do is get back to people who did that to you. And if it means knocking over your brothers in order to do that, then that's just what it's going to have to be. And so that's what I think it is for him. But I don't think he's going to take a whole lot of joy out of demolishing people like PJ Washington and Kyrie Irving. I don't think so. And you just went to the finals with them dudes. You know what I mean? Like, it's so strange how that works, because you never see anything like this. A superstar player takes his team to the finals and is traded in the midway point of the next season without asking out, without having a falling out with his teammates and coaches. At 25 years of age, when he's accomplished all that Luka has, individually and team success. It's just not something that we've ever really seen before. I don't think I've ever seen this before in any sport. And so tonight, he goes against that team. They come into his new home arena, and he has to suit up for a team that he's, not that we were the ops. That's really what it comes down to. We were the ops. They sent him to one of the rival teams. So it's important that we embrace him here, get this victory for him tonight, so he can further feel like one of us. He came through for us in a game that we really needed him to come through in. In the Denver game, if he would have laid the egg, if we lost that game, that would have hurt a lot. But he came through, played his best game in that game. That meant a lot to us, right? As a Laker fan, Laker Nation, he wasn't here for all that ineptitude with the Denver Nuggets. He wasn't here these last two playoff runs where we got ousted by that team and getting called all kinds of disrespect, Laker Daddy and all this other bullcrap that came our way. But he came through, played his best game in solidarity with us, and of course because he wants to win. He's a winner, he's a competitor. But like, the effort that he put out, the way that he played, showed that he had some urgency to meet our urgency and our emotions in regards to the disrespect. We owe him that. That's one of the reasons why I'm wearing this Laker shirt right now, because I feel like it's time to start rallying around this unit and rallying around this new superstar. It's time for us to meet the urgency of him. I don't particularly have this game circled necessarily. I think we got embarrassed last time we saw the Dallas Mavericks. You know what I mean? And they didn't have their stars, and they still beat the hell out of us when the fires took place. So yeah, for that reason, I have a special interest in beating the Mavericks just for this season's purpose. But it's not like I'm just dying to destroy Kyrie. And Max Christie's our guy. We love Max. Anthony Davis is over there. That's weird. We won a championship with him. We had him on our team for the last 5-6 years. We're not exactly happy about seeing those people with long faces. Kyrie's one of my favorite players in the NBA. I don't particularly love seeing him lose unless he's wearing a Celtic uniform. You know what I mean? So it's not like this is a game where me personally, I'm just like, yo, we got to beat this team like they're the Denver Nuggets or the Boston Celtics. They're not our Denver Nuggets or Boston Celtics. But for Luka, this is his Denver Nuggets, it's his Boston Celtics. Or even more so in some cases personally. It means so much, something different there, So I want to meet the urgency. I want to meet the urgency as a Laker fan. I'm trying to be out here wearing bright yellow and let our team know that the urgency that we need to meet for him is the same urgency we got from him against the Denver Nuggets. And although we don't particularly hate the Dallas Mavericks like that, we gonna learn to for him. That's how I feel about that. We're gonna learn to. We're gonna do a damn good job of pretending we do, or whatever the case may be. I may not be able to feel your pain, but I can meet your urgency. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel about that. And so that's the energy that I'm putting into this camera right now. I want us to back him up, back his play. I already know LeBron James is going to do that. I already know Austin Reeves is going to do that. I already know Dodo feel his pain because he used to play for this team too, and they traded him away. Dallas, they're going to have to deal with the Lakers tonight. That's what it really comes down to. It's going to be a very difficult process for them. Watching their guy run around in purple and gold. I respect that. Just like we're thankful that we don't have to watch our guy Anthony Davis run around in blue tonight. We don't want that. We understand that his wrath is not something to play with either. A lot of what he does affects a lot of winning. We watched him carry us on bad nights with his good play, great play. I'm glad Anthony Davis ain't playing tonight. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't want to see him at all. Having him angry at us is no different than Luka being angry at Dallas in some ways. He don't want any parts of that when he's playing his best. So that's a good thing. I'm very thankful that he ain't out there. So these are the type of things that just going through my mind as we approach this basketball game tonight. It's a big one. We respect Luka the Don. We respect Anthony Davis, Max Christie. We respect all those guys, man. We know this wasn't easy. Nobody chose this. And I think the only people who are really all that happy about it is the Lakers side of things. Fans, organization, but it's a tough situation for those guys. And so this is me saying, hey man, we got your back, man. We ain't sitting up here just celebrating. We understand that this is a hurtful situation for you, Luka, and that stands for a great deal, considering how much we want you to be a part of this thing going forward. And it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit of solidarity here. So, yeah, man, I want us to be on guard. As I said in my pregame video, Kyrie Irving, Klay Thompson, PJ Washington, Dante Exum. Those are players that I'm really concerned about could potentially blow up the whole script of this evening, man. They could really blow the script up because these are very, very talented guys who've shown that they can play well against us, who have their own intentions of probably beating us. We don't really want to take them lightly. A guy like Klay Thompson, we've seen exactly what he can do. And we know that people probably ain't thinking he's going to do much. That's a grave mistake that I won't let us make. You understand what I'm saying? That's a grave mistake that I won't let us make. Klay Thompson has 4 NBA championships, like 6 finals appearances or something like that. 5, I don't know, lost count. So big games, they lost the big game when he had to go back to Golden State. That first time he played Golden State, they lost that game. That's what I was referring to in the previous video, stating that I had seen a team lose a big game despite having all the stuff behind it that would otherwise make it so that they'd be motivated to win. I've seen teams lose. And then I said that I thought the Dallas Mavericks were actually the example because they had lost a big game. It was the Golden State game, the first one Klay had to play against them. They lost that game. They didn't show up like they were supposed to. And he ended up having to lose to the team that he left. So it's like, well, I've seen this before, Lakers. Of course, it was the other team who actually went on the wrong side of it, but that's not the point. You got to show up. You can't just expect that the narrative is going to be there for you. You got to play. You got to play the game at a high level. And though it's not the Denver Nuggets, you need not have a letdown tonight. Now, I don't expect one because of the narrative. But it's up to them to not be let down or ultimately not show up in this basketball game. In order for us to get out of this game, what I believe Luka would be most pleased with in regards to getting a victory against them. We got to beat them handily. We don't want no buzzer beat or none of that. And so that's what I'm saying. I don't know how the Dallas Mavericks players are going to react to this basketball game. There's a world where they throw this game, to be honest with you. There's a world where they're in solidarity with Luka too. If I'm being completely honest with you, these are real competitors, but they also know when it's time to tank too. And I don't know that the Dallas Mavericks don't just say, hey man, let's just eat our karma now. We don't want this lingering. If we beat them tonight, we know we're going to have to deal with them forever. Eventually they're going to kill us. Let's just let them have this one. I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of oops and roll over. Although I don't think a lot of people respect that. In this particular situation, I don't know that people would really shun it either. I don't know if they really shun it either. But Dallas is trying to make the playoffs. They have their own goals, and I don't imagine losing this game is good for that. Especially if they win it. They win the season series with the Lakers, since we only played them 3 times and dropped that first one inexplicably to their role players. So that's another thing we can consider. Although the best role player of that game, Quentin Grimes, has since been moved to Philly, which in and of itself looked a little strange, to be honest with you, given how well he was fitting in with that Dallas team. But, we still got to deal with the rest of their role players. And unlike that game, Kai will be out there. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, PJ missed that game too. And I expect that he will be a game-time decision tonight. So, Max Christie, I wouldn't be surprised if Max has a big game. Wouldn't be surprised if Max has a career high tonight, Try to bust open this whole narrative and take over himself. But since the Jason Kidd has been benching him as of late, I don't really know what type of role Max has tonight. I think they're a better team when they start, Max, just like we were. And I'm partial to the idea that Max is not starting because I watched what Darvin did to Max last year. And now Max finally got his opportunity to start every game. We were a good team for it. And now here we go with him going to a new team, and now they're benching him after him playing well, which is like really frustrating. But that's Dallas business. That is not our business. Max is not our player, and that's just what it is. But I'm still partial to seeing Max's development go very well. And so that's a point of view I have, and I think a lot of Laker Nation shares it. It's different. It's a young fella, you know what I mean? It's our young fella. We drafted him. We did not want him going anywhere. I didn't hear a single soul say, let's trade Max Christie. Nobody that's credible anyway. And so this is not the path that we thought we'd be on. We're happy that it went the way it did, but we're definitely not happy about who had to walk in order for it to happen. So we want to see those guys succeed, but not against us. Not against us, and that's really what it comes down to. I'm a believer in Kyrie, Max Christie. Of course, Anthony not out there. I'm a believer in a lot of them dudes, man. So I do think they'll be good in the end. I think they'll be a good team if they can get it together. But there's something called karma. Karma, you guys. And the karma of this team trading away Luka to Don in the fashion that they did, I can assure you that they don't deserve any good karma right now. Not in sports. They don't deserve any. And I don't think they're going to get any. I really don't. And I'm not wishing any bad things on the Dallas Mavericks, but I do expect bad things coming the Dallas Mavericks' way as a franchise. For what they did to Luka Doncic here, man. For what they did. Not only trading him away for half the price, but for just disrespecting the man in the media in the way that they did. Body shaming the man, or whatever you want to call that. Putting out stories that he has different things going on in his life that are none of our business, so long as he plays well and takes care of himself from here on out. I shouldn't even think or know about any type of things that are going on in this person's life. And yet the Dallas Mavericks thought it would be most important to release all that. Whether it's true or not true, they released a lot. And so I just feel like at the end of the day, with that being what they are doing, they don't deserve nothing really good, to be honest with you. And I just hope that the players that we like on that team, as I said in the other video, leave. I hope Anthony Davis does not re-up with the Dallas Mavericks. I hope he goes somewhere else. I hope Max Christie leaves that place as soon as he gets an opportunity. I hope Kyrie gets the hell out of there soon. Leave them to their own devices. Because just like they did that to Luka Doncic, what you think they're going to do to you? And that's what I'll say to any team, any player rather, that's thinking about signing with the Mavericks. You see what they just did to Luka? If they'll do that to Luka, you ain't safe. I don't care how good you think you are. You ain't safe. So I would say there should be a mass exodus from Dallas, and furthermore, nobody going there, to be honest with you. Sorry to the fans. This is what it is. Sorry to the fans. I don't wish that for you necessarily, although you guys are ops. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I love y'all or nothing, but as it pertains to the fans, I don't think they necessarily deserve the karma that the ownership and Nico and those guys actually deserve at this point. But they along for the ride, man. They along for the ride. They should probably leave too. They should probably just follow their boy Luka. That's what I think they should do. Follow their boy Luka, man. Come on over to our side. We more than welcome any all Mavs fans, any all Slovenian fans, man. Serbian fans. We definitely welcome you over to our side of the fence. You can continue rooting for your guy over here. We're a good fan base. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff over here that people say about the Lakers, but at the end of the day, we've enjoyed more glory than anybody else, with the exception of the Green guys, of whom won all their championships before anybody was born. So, if you expect your guy to have any success, history tells you he's likely going to have it over here before anywhere else, and that includes where he ultimately would have rather been before being disrespected and outcasted, shoved aside, as if he's some type of role player or scrub or something. So, yeah, man, I don't think anybody should really roll with the Mavs. Not anymore. Not after that. Nobody should. And so, Mavs fans for life. God bless y'all, man. If y'all gonna stick with that, that's what it is, man. I don't hate you. I feel the same way about my Lakers, good, bad, or ugly. I'm rolling. I wouldn't be leaving. I didn't leave when Shaq left. Was traded away for pennies on the dollar, like a thief in the night. We've been through this before. He wasn't all that young when it happened, but we've been through this to some degree. We've been through several things. So we understand what you're going through to a degree. But, you know, that's my point of view, man. It's all about Laker pride today, man. I'm putting on this purple and gold, wearing it with a whole lot of pride. I understand that this isn't the greatest team we're going up against, but it is the greatest motivator. We're coming off one of our most proud wins and overcomings of mental demons and basketball hurdles, and destroying the Denver Nuggets in Denver and shutting down Nikola Jokic, for which we don't expect to do every time. Don't get it twisted. And so we'll be thankful we took that particular win and continue on the path of trying to get as many of them as possible against everybody, and that includes tonight against the Dallas Mavericks, a now most hated foe at this point for a lot of guys on our in our situation. And so that's really what it is, man. Don't know if there's anything else I want to say. I do expect it to be an unsung hero tonight. I know a lot of people are going to have all eyes on Luka. I'd imagine all the defense is going to be pointed at stopping Luka. I'd imagine that's what Jason Kidd is going to do. If I know Jason Kidd, he's got a plan for Luka. Tonight, going to try to keep him from at least from having a career high 75 points or whatever it was. And in the event that he has something for Luka, I'm pretty sure LeBron and step up Austin Reeves will step up. I guarantee you, we are going to play hard, and it's going to require an outer-worldly performance for the Dallas Mavericks to overcome that. That's what I legitimately think. They're going to have to step all the way out their body to win this matchup on the road tonight. Short-handed, so many guys. So that's really what I have to say, man. Go Lakers, go Luka, go BDF44. Thank y'all for watching. Out.